Morning.
Hey, it's Zeek. This video you're about to watch was a hike I did yesterday up a mountain out the back of Laurieton in New South Wales, just south of Port Macquarie. Started out just doing a hike video, but ended up being a bit of a bush therapy session. I went through everything that's been happening since my spinal surgery. I went back and talked about some of my backstory, which I was promising doing. So if you're subscribed for all my post-surgery rehab and waiting for essentially my backstory, military career, all that sort of stuff, I pretty much yap at the camera this whole climb and give that whole background sort of thing. So I've left that there. Will give a warning. I was very honest about it all, so if you've got history of mental health problems, suicide, military service, any of that sort of stuff that might trigger you, I might cover some topics that you might not want to listen to, so just maybe click mute and throw Spotify on and enjoy the view. It's a beautiful hike. You go up to a clearing where you can look out over the ocean, the rivers, the lakes, everything around here. It's a really beautiful area. But yeah, so life's going pretty well for me since I haven't really done an update video post-surgery for a few months now. Just waiting on my 6-month review, even though I'm up to 7 months now. Went over to Taiwan to meet the future in-laws and been moving house and applying for university, all sorts of stuff. I talk about all of that in the video. So yeah, give it a watch and listen. Should give you all my background information and all the surgeries I've gone over and what I'm doing in the future. So enjoy. Anything else I didn't cover on? I don't know. Anyway, enjoy listening to me rant for a couple of hours climbing up and down. The summit, if you want to skip straight to that, it's at 49 minutes. All the out, looking out over the water and everything. Other than that, I'll put all the timestamps down in the description so you can flick ahead and check everything out. Okay, cool. Cheers. See ya.
Cut through that bit. Oh yeah, follow the arrow, that makes sense. Okay. Battery. Oh, this GoPro batteries suck. 90%. That's enough. So must be a big set of stairs up the middle, and then you walk across to the clearing so you can look at it out over the river to the ocean. So. Looks like a good walking stick. Nice. Laurieton track. That's the one we want. Steep grade, 3 hours return. It's 4 hours return back there, like 5 minutes ago. Okay, let's go. Just applied for uni. Haha. 5 unis. All to start physiotherapy, or technically start Bachelor of Exercise and Sports Science. That will be... I've got personal trainer, I've got remedial massage therapy, and I've also got a bunch of other unrelated quals, and I've done a bunch of university English, so I've sort of smashed all the prereqs for the uni courses, so hopefully get accepted into all of them and then I can just choose. But if all goes well, I'll go to University of Sydney. They seem to have a really good setup. Second one's Macquarie, because I've already studied with them and have a good rep. Then if we can't move, Faru needs to stay in this area. I do have Port Macquarie in there. Or if we end up going up north, I put down Griffith and Southern Cross on the Goldie. So I should hopefully find out in the next week or so if I've been accepted. But Rue needs to find out what's going on with his letters, what he needs to do to finish with the college or change college, and then where we can be, all that good poop. Whew. Very loose stuff here. Anyway, then I get on the road to physio finally. One way or another, I'm starting uni next year. This surgery, the fusion, is good. I have to keep moving. Sitting around hurts more than bloody staying. Sorry, sitting around hurts more than getting out and doing stuff, which is the opposite of pre-surgery, where I just wanted to lay there and be a slug to avoid any sort of pain or nerve stir-ups. But yeah, with this fusion, if you lay down too long, it's everything hurts. So I do recommend the surgery for anyone who actually wants to get up and get their life back. If you're not serious or you're not ready psychologically to get off your ass and get going again, hold off on the surgery, because you'll be in more pain if you just sit around doing nothing, feeling sorry for yourself. But yeah, I'm doing this stuff again, and for the most part it doesn't kill me too much, and it's given me enough confidence to go and do physio at uni, which I've always dreamed of doing, but just seems so far out of reach after all my surgeries and injuries and everything else. But then once Rue's got all his doctor's stuff sorted, GP stuff, and I've got physio, I can start our own clinic and I can specialise in helping other vets. That have been through or going, well, you know, going through it, because I get it. We can hopefully build a rapport, and I can help guys get out of that hole and get back going again. That's my dream anyway. Up, 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 up. Oh, that's a view like on this thing. Tilt it up a bit. Okay, cool. I like these stairs. I'm 95 kilos at the moment. I want to get down to 85, preferably 80. So I've got to getting strict on the diet again. I've got a few more weeks until that stupid house is supposed to be fixed from the floods. Then I can finally sell it and not have a $500 a week black hole eating all my money. Very stressful. Another reason I need to get out and exercise. Can't sit around in my own head. It's not healthy. Get moving. Endorphins going. Okay. Got the referral for my cervical spine to see the same doctor that did my lumbar. I've already had the surgeries, but it's like 10 years ago now, and they put faulty artificials in, and apparently they don't have a long life. So I'm just going to get them checked, just so I know where it's at and sort of when I can expect to need more spinal surgery on my neck to replace it to the non-faulty ones. Hopefully they'll last for quite a while longer, because I'm really sick of getting chopped up. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. And then the other problem is I've got 2 artificials in my neck that need replacing, and DVA don't bill 2 artificials in one surgery. That's why I had to get the double fusion in my lumbar and only 1 artificial, which lost me like 15 degrees of movement because they couldn't bill 2 artificials in one surgery. So I ended up more restricted because of the DVA billing system. And I mean, it was one thing to have restricted mobility in your lumbar, which is a pain in the ass, but it's manageable. But I do not want a fusion in my neck that ends up restricting my movement, which means if I want 2 artificial new ones replaced in my neck, I have to have 2 frickin' separate surgeries, or find a ridiculous amount of money to pay for the one surgery myself, and then fight to get it reimbursed, so my life isn't screwed up from DVA being cheap. So anyway, cross that bridge later. But I got the referral to get that checked out, and I got a referral to get my left shoulder that has the severed bicep tendon sorted or looked at. I'm not going to get more surgery on that. I'm managing as it is. I don't want them slicing the side of my arm up and pulling stuff up and bolting it into my shoulder, and I'm not going to get enough benefit from it for all the rehab time and fuck around and scars. And but on that same orthopedic surgeon referral, I've got them to check both my wrists, because they're just buggered from all the stupid shit like burpees with a pack on your back on a concrete surface and all the other stupid shit you do in the military. It's just over time wear and tear. But then once I get neck, back, shoulder, wrists all documented properly where everything's at prior to starting physio and going to Sydney, hopefully. Then I'll have a clear picture of where I'm at post-military before I launch into my new life, and then I can push myself physically and do hopefully jiu-jitsu comps and stuff again, and Spartan races and stuff. And if I hurt myself, or if something happens with my existing stuff down the track and then DVA can't turn around and go, oh no, that happened after you're in the army, that wasn't us, which the bastards will do. So yeah, the rest of this year, admin, sell the house, get everything documented. Next year, launch into the new life. Physio degree, life in Sydney, back to jiu-jitsu, back to challenging myself in comps for like Spartan race and stuff every now and again. Set goals and stuff. It's all getting there. Just takes persistence. I've come so far in the last few years. Since I left for Japan to reboot my life, when I didn't get out of bed every day. 5 years in bed, popping every pill imaginable, washing it down with a bottle of whiskey, peeing into bottles next to my bed because I wouldn't get out of bed. Completely lost. Then I'm like, if this keeps happening, I'm going to kill myself. And I had plans to kill myself. But then I was like, I need to get out, go somewhere, factory reset, somewhere that doesn't trigger me, somewhere that doesn't have fucking defense recruiting posters every time I walk into the mall. I don't drive past the old vehicles I used to work with every day that they've auctioned off. Just needed somewhere fresh, somewhere different. And the most wildly different, but able to function and live, I could think of as Japan. So I was supposed to start as a language student in March 2020. And 5 days before I flew out, the borders shut because of COVID, and I got trapped in Australia still. And that, back then I didn't have much resilience, and that nearly tipped me over. Very suicidal few months. And then November 2020, Japan briefly reopened their borders, and I dumped everything and got on a plane to go and restart my life. But I had to sign a waiver because Australia had called everyone back to Australia. I had to sign a waiver that said I wouldn't ask for any help from the government if things didn't work, and I was on my own. So I hadn't gotten out of bed consistently for more than 1 or 2 days in 5 years. And I landed in Japan, and I had in the middle of winter because of the delays. And I had no choice but to get out of bed every day as much as possible and get to school, no matter how much pain I was in, no matter how bad my depression was. Or else I wouldn't meet my visa requirements, and because I couldn't come back to Australia, I'd go to a detention centre in Japan for an indefinite amount of time. So it was fucked. That was so much stress. But honestly, if I hadn't put myself in that pressure cooker, no way out situation, I don't think I would have started going again. I'd probably be dead by now. honestly. I sort of bullied myself into moving and getting better again, which is pretty extreme. But yeah, pretty crazy. But I did it. My attendance was so close to the wire sometimes, especially in winter. So I was in so much pain. And I did it, and then the floods hit. So my house back here, I was supposed to be renting it out so I could stay in Japan longer. I'd remortgaged my house so I could pay for university in Japan. That was the sort of long-term goals. Or start a business if I could get to JLPT M2, because I wanted to start rehabilitation tourism, where I go and work out all the disabled access tracks around Japan and do up route plans for people who have injuries so they can actually go to Japan and enjoy it with English information around whatever injury they have. So that was the plan. But yeah, the floods hit, and that house, because I'd remortgaged it and I was supposed to have a renter in there. It's 4 weeks off renting it. They just painted upstairs, moved all my stuff downstairs, and destroyed all my stuff. And I mean, it's 20 months since the flood, and they still haven't finished the repairs. Been delay after delay after delay. So I would have gone belly up if I hadn't left Japan and started getting on top of stuff back here. And if I hadn't had that money from the remortgage sitting in a savings account to cover the costs for the last 20 months that was supposed to be on university, I would have totally been screwed. I don't know how other people have survived. I know a lot of people haven't. So many people. So yeah, I'm just surviving by the skin of my teeth 20 months later, and I was in a pretty good position because I had money in the bank. But I fell in love. I wouldn't have met Rue if I hadn't come back. My house was busted, so I went to stay at my dad's in Nambucca, which I hadn't been back to in since high school. That place did a number on me in high school. But went back, staying at dad's, going stir crazy, not knowing what the future held, feeling like I was backsliding. And then I get a message on Grindr, hey, I'm hosting karaoke at the Sands, where I had my first beer at 18 before I left forever. Do you want to come? Which is one of our drag queen friends, Jacinta Felicia, or Lewis, as he's known. So I was like, yeah, I'll do that. And I rocked up and went to karaoke and met Rue. He was there. Then my plan, since I had to come back to Australia, I didn't know how long my house would take to get repaired, and I did want to go back to Japan, but I had such trouble attending during winter because of my back pain. I'm like, well, I'm stuck in Australia for God knows how long, so I'll get this fucking back sorted once and for all. And got in to see a really good surgeon, but had a waistline maximum of 100 centimeters for 110 centimeters, 100 centimeters for his tools to be able to reach to do the surgery. So I was like, I know what I'll do what I used to do in the army. I'll get on a plane, I'll go to Tiger Muay Thai in Phuket, Thailand, and I'll just put in 3 solid months and drop the weight, because in the heat I was a lot better. And plus they got, oh, anyway, they do have weed gummies and stuff all legal over there now if you get in a lot of pain, because I hate opiates and stuff. They're like soul destroying things. But I rarely took that. It was like a maximum thing. Anyway, I called up Andrew after meeting him and hanging out with him once or twice because I knew he was a GP. I'm like, hey, I'm gonna go to Thailand. I'm gonna lose weight. I've had problems drinking before when I'm over there and losing track. My psychiatrist years ago mentioned this stuff called disulfiram that makes you hospitalized if you drink any alcohol. I'm like, can you give me a script? Obviously no conflict of interest back then because we like met 3 times. And he did. He helped me get the script for disulfiram. And so when I was in Thailand, I started taking that. And I dropped around 20 kilos in the 3 months I went to Thailand before coming back to see the surgeon for a pre-surgery appointment. And Rue and I started like internet chatting and dating while I was in Thailand.
Exercise ring closed.
Thanks. And that's how everything started. And then we had a mega date when I got back. And we've been together ever since. And now we're engaged a year later. So I'm obviously not going back to Japan because I'm not leaving my guy. He's a GP. I've always dreamed of helping people. Like, it's always been my goal. The farm I bought, the house that got flooded, I originally bought it after getting out of the army to make it into a veterans retreat, somewhere where guys can go decompress. It was going to be like a bush / jiu-jitsu retreat. But it took me so long to get myself going again. It took too much time trying to unfuck myself. That never really happened. And then went to Japan for the reboot, and then the floods and everything, obviously. So that never happened. And then the next thing was going to be disability tourism ideas or routes and stuff, which I've still got a pin in that. I kept my Japanese bank account and everything, so even once I'm qualified physio or exercise and sports, just bachelor, if that's a side thing I want to start, I've got the bank account there to start a Japanese business, and then maybe just do trails in spring and autumn when the weather's manageable. I'm still studying Japanese, so it's like got a pin in it, but I don't plan to live there full time. I don't plan to leave my dude. But yeah, but now my back is manageable, livable. I am planning to do physio because I think even if it's just 20 hours a week or whatever, and then maybe sort of go between being a practice manager for our clinic and physio, and sort of mix standing up and sitting down, and so I don't burn my body out, but I do keep it a steady pace. Then I can sort of return to a normally functional existence. Anyway, that's the goal. I think that's like all the backstory. I don't know if I missed anything. That's where we're at now. Rue's trying to finish his rural GP letters. I'm applying for university. One step closer. Definitely one of the hardest things for me, leaving the army. That was my world for 8 years. I didn't date except for like one rare occasion. Sex is not healthy, as I get drunk. Lots of guys that are in the closet or bi-curious or just a one-off even, just, and then pretend like nothing happened the next day. Let anybody use me. It's not healthy. Very empty existence, but I didn't want my career impacted. Because when I first joined, as soon as I got to barracks in Robertson Barracks at 5RR in Darwin, literally one of the first things I heard was everyone going, "Oh, you know that gay guy at Sisby, he just got promoted. Yeah, he just got promoted because he's a minority, he didn't earn it." All that crap. I'm like, fuck that. When I get promoted, everyone's gonna know I worked my ass off and I put in. They're not gonna diminish it by telling me it was because of my sexuality. So I just, because I was sort of out pretty much before the army, and then I went back in to the closet, so it wouldn't sabotage my career. But yeah, Rue's the first healthy relationship I've had. I've had 2 relationships with girls. I loved Nina very much, but we just sort of, I was still more focused on my career than I was on her. And she suffered for that, and I broke things off with her because I really didn't like fucking her around. And then I had a run in, and then my career fell apart, and I was just like, bye.
Split 2.
We broke up before all that stuff, but she was still around when everything went pear-shaped. But yeah, childhood trauma plus alcohol plus letting people do whatever they want to you. It's a very ugly, destructive, self-destructive routine. And I went to a very yucky place there for a while. But Rue's helped me heal from a lot of that. And I just continue to heal every day with him around. Can't imagine a life without him, honestly. So yeah, anyway, I think I sidetracked there for a bit. Pretty up here. Starting to feel the long burn as I get higher. How's the batteries going? Clean that lens off a bit. Gotta be careful I don't lean on it. Slowly put my life back together, and I'm sort of on the home stretch. A few more years of physical rehab, which will also require forever maintenance, and ongoing psychological maintenance. I did give VVCS/open arms a ring the other day, just because like the house has taken so long, it's messing with my mental health pretty badly. And then I don't drink like I used to, but when I do drink, I get upset easy, and it's not a healthy coping mechanism. So I'm like, no, I'll organise a psychologist and talk to them about stuff I can't talk to Rue about, because I don't know, you can't offload everything on your partner. We talk about lots, but I also don't want to be a burden. So I just go there and I'll talk about the ugly stuff. Decompress. Don't let it build up and destroy my life. So I should be doing that soon. Keep that up until I sell the house and move on to the next thing, and then if I need to, find somewhere in the new location. But hopefully I'll be manageable by then. I'm manageable now, but I just know from the past, trying to ignore shit that's bubbling, it'll cost you. It'll all go bang all at once. We're at the top already. Is the clearing down that way? Oh, you are here. Okay. I guess the clearing's this way. Put that down a bit. How are we going? 39% battery. It's okay. I should hopefully get to the clearing and can swap the batteries there. It's beautiful up here. I'll shut up for a bit so you can listen to the birds. Wouldn't mind building up to be able to jog up this, but easy. Definitely get my ass and love handles off if I did this a few times a week. I like going out bush. It's time for the brain to defrag. It's easy to get caught in your own head. And when you're in a box inside looking at a screen, it's really not the same. You might find things to distract yourself. You might find things you enjoy, but just for me, going outside in the sunlight and breathing in the fresh air, immersed in a sea of green, that reinvigorates my soul and gives my brain some time to think through and process shit. What you need. I feel more balanced, more centered, I guess. I should tilt that back up again. Okay. Oh, nice. And I did legs at the gym last night too. Good job. That's okay. I have plenty of energy resources around my buttocks area. sitting there. I guess like when people in the future they're like, hey, how'd you get out of the hole you're in? Can I do it too? I'm like, I don't know if you can actually replicate a pandemic pressure cooker situation again, or if you'd want to. I honestly, there's somewhere in the multiverse, or there's multiple places in the multiverse where I'm not still kicking. But thank God. Oh, look at that. Probably can't see through the trees yet. It's okay when we get the clearing. My house is down there. We've got a cute little house. Right on the water for now. When we get to Sydney, if we get to Sydney, $720 for a one-bedroom apartment near uni. Oh my God. Or $450 a week for a shoebox at the university dorms. Like, what the hell? Sydney. So that's why I went with the University of Sydney. Apart from the fact they're like 4th in the world for exercise science, they are right next to Redfern Station. So if Roo has to do more work for his rural letters, there's all the rural train lines that pass through there on their way into the city. So I can go to school in Redfern, he can be out the other end of the train line working, and we can have an apartment or something in the middle that's more affordable, and meet in the middle. And then when he gets his letters and he can start, well, he wants to end up in the city anyway. Once he can work in the city the way he wants to work in the city, then I'm already established in there, and we can just get a place closer in towards the CBD, and I don't have to disrupt my studies, and we can still end up where he wanted to be next year before delays and stuff. So I am getting more and more sure-footed. I am building up the impact stuff now too, because I was told I was allowed to start impact from 6 months. I was supposed to have a 6-month review, but I was meeting the future in-laws in Taiwan, and delayed that. And then I mentioned my cervical, and he's like, grab a new referral so I can check that out, because I've only got a referral for your lumbar. And so when I go to do my review, he's going to do the full, see where everything is at. But anyway, I digress. My lumbar, I have started doing the impact stuff since I went to Taiwan. I started doing a few of those hill runs and temple climbs, and still, like, normally I run up because it's all butt stepping in, and then I go hell slow on the way down to avoid the big drop impacts. But I was mixing it up. I was going downhill quite quick, and so we get niggles for a few days, but it's not like it used to be where I'd be like in bed for 3 days afterwards and then feeling the twinge for, you know, another week pretty much. So that's a massive improvement. Getting there. Hey Zeek. Yeah. Just gotta be stubborn. At least I got that. My best and worst quality, being a stubborn asshole. This is really pretty. I will try to get Rue up here. He, not a fan of hills. God love him. Come on, Zeek. Gotta be close, I think. Whew. It's the time. It's been going for almost an hour. Battery, can I make it? Yes, that should make it to the clearing. Oh. Oi, 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 oi. Where'd you get that body from? I got it from my mum. Did I? No, I got dad's shoulder. I think I got mum's legs. Oh, here we go. Oh. Sunglasses. Don't need any more crow's feet. Oh, that is nice. Look at that. Oh. That is beautiful. Ah, there's a road up here. So if you're lazy, I guess you can drive up here. No judgment, or if you have a legit disability, trust me, I get that. Come up here for a picnic. Sometimes I still say toxicami lines. I don't say like linger or anything anymore. Oh. Check out that cute guy. Can you see him? Yeah. Marry him. Okay. So, messaging my mother. Yeah, I'll send some messages and do some videos and then put the new camera in. New battery in, and film the way down. See you soon. Filming? Yeah, sure. Nice. Had like a 10-15 minute just taking photos and messaging, and there are Pokemon gyms up here. It's probably blowing on the microphone and you can't hear what I'm saying. Okay, heading back down. Hatched 7 eggs. adventure sync with your watch. Very good. Where does that go? Yeah. Okay. Okay, out of the wind. Yeah, I just had a quick little chill, enjoy the morning sun and take some photos and message some people's. Literally all downhill from here. I just get the sniffly nose and sit in the wind. Cool. Beautiful weather. Spring's definitely here. Oh yeah, downhill's always worse, but not like it used to be. Down. Oh. All my hiking gear is still in Thailand. Gotta get back over there and grab stuff from Tuki. I left like a whole bag of stuff with her. Thank you, Tuki. I know I was supposed to be back sooner than this. We'll get over there. But I can talk Roo to come over. He thinks it's all bloody hookers and partying. Seriously, if you've been to the Soi in Phuket, Thailand, with Tiger Muay Thai and Phuket Top Team and Unit 47 and all the mecca of health travel, write in the comments and say, hey Roo, go with Zeek to Thailand because it's amazing. And I'll show him and say it's not all hookers, they're on the other side of the island. I don't go to Patong. Stay in Geelong, chill, train, eat healthy, get massages without happy endings. Just live a healthy, positive life. I love the Soi. Been going there since 2014 was the first time I went there, when Tiger was one end, Phuket Top Team was the other, and Massey Bar was in the middle, and that was it. And I've since spent probably nearly close to a year of my life on that Soi. Probably like 9 months. Done 2 to 3 month trips. Last time productive, the time before that unproductive. I was still heavily medicated, and they had me on that mini press for my nightmares. It was like a blood pressure medication, but it can make your nightmares less. Anyway, I went to do a fitness class, still hadn't broken, like, hey, you're not the fit army guy anymore, you've had a few injuries and you've been not doing anything for a few years. Anyway, my ego and, well, yeah, pride, when I tried to do a HIIT class and I almost had a heart attack. Now I know because I was on blood pressure medication, but it yeah, I got so depressed. Even though I was there for like nearly 3 months, I didn't leave the hotel room most of the time, and I drank and everything else. That was 2017. So before I went back for the big training and success last year, I was 2017 was the last time I was there, and that was the big burnout, because I just had my 3rd spinal surgery on my neck done, and I told myself, okay, get over there, get motivated, do stuff, and I was still heavily medicated, and it just didn't work the way I wanted it to work, and I got so depressed and upset and lost all hope. I was so depressed I ended up going back and living with my sister for a bit, because I was like uber suicidal. And then I was like, need to get my arm fixed, and did that. And I was like, need to get off all the medications before I go to Japan, because I can't get opiates and all that crap before I go to, like, in Japan. It's too hard as a Japanese person, let alone a foreigner. So I stopped all my pain medications before I went to Japan, and then I got off all my psych medications, which was the biggest bounce. And I don't recommend doing that. You should listen to your doctors, but if you want to change your life, you should really do it with the assistance of your health professionals. Don't be a stubborn ass like me and just go cold turkey on max opiates and benzos, and what else was I on? Jesus. And Seroquel, and that was a big bounce, and I was very ugly. Wild. That was, it's one of the reasons I hate going back to where my farm was. Like, aside from looking around at everywhere I considered hanging a rope, I almost, like, I guess I was like trying the cop suicide thing, where I just acted like a total pig and got drunk and like poked people hoping they'd lose it and beat me to death or something. Just trying to, I could not bring myself to kill myself, even though I didn't want to be there, so I was trying to get other people to do it. That was a really awful, yucky, probably the worst period of my life, which was around 2018, I think, 2018, 2019, and because I wasn't like, I got off all the pain meds, I wasn't sleeping. My arm was still like driving me nuts. They kept going, no, everything with your left arms, because of the impingement at your C-spine and the bone spurs in your neck. And I'm like, no, something else is going on there. And they're like, no, you're just a junkie, you want more medications, you're lying about everything. DVA was treating me like a fraud, doctors wouldn't listen to me. I'm like, well, fine, you're gonna fucking treat me like a liar because I'm a drug addict, then I'm gonna get off everything, so you can't say that's it. And I did, and I suffered for months physically, especially through winter, because the stuff with my arm was just so bad in winter. And then after like 6 months of no pain meds or anything, I went back to the doctor and said, hey, look, I have not been on anything, my arm is still killing me, can you please show me, some basic, courtesy, and refer me to someone about my arm, because I know there's something else going on there, which I've been having troubles with my arm since 2012, so this is 5-6 years of suffering. Well, I had it since Afghan, since I bloody put my arm out in front of the windscreen and flew into the windscreen. Anyway, but I definitely, like, don't get me wrong, my C-spine bone spurs and shit did cause a lot of nerve damage down my left arm, but it masked other shit that was there as well. Anyway, the orthopedic surgeon finally does the stuff, and I go and he's like, oh yeah, I can see like a partial tear. I'll go and I'll clean that up, and there's like bursitis and a bit of bone build up and all that. So I went in, had surgery on my left shoulder in December 2019. I think that was, yeah, just before Chrissy. The year before I was supposed to go to Japan. So I was like, I'll get my shoulder sorted and then I'll be right and I'll go off to Japan. And he gets in there and I wake up and he's like, oh yeah, so we ran out of time. He had so much going on in there. It's like, yeah, rotator cuff, yes, was like half torn. So I put that back together. Cleaned up the bone that build up around the rotator cuff so the tendon slides more easily. Couldn't do much about the bursitis, but he's like, and then I looked at the front and your bicep tendon was hanging on by a thread, which was where all the pain was coming from. And he's like, but I didn't have any surgery time left, so he just snipped, which did make a massive improvement in the pain. But it means I got like this Popeye thing going on my left side now, and a less stability, but I make do. But it improved my pain massively. So that, and then I started sleeping, like almost sleeping properly, like nightmares and other shit aside. But yeah, and that made such a difference to my mental health, like just being able to just lay down and sleep and get into a deep, like I didn't realize how much pain I was in until it was gone. Like that was one of the big reasons I was like such a rabid dog, angry and messed up all the time. I just in this state of pain for so many years. I wasn't functioning. My brain wasn't working. It was like living in a tunnel. It's pretty bloody awful. But that shoulder surgery made such a big impact. And I thought that was enough. Like I thought I could get by with my lower back, which I did for the most part. It was all the sitting in classrooms in the cold weather and everything in Japan on the low chairs. And it was just like, it just hurt. But that was sort of a big turning point physically, was the shoulder surgery. And the validation that I wasn't just a lying, linging, pill popping junkie like the DVA and everybody else and doctors and stuff tried to make me out. Just being validated, like, oh yeah, shit, that's a bit of a clusterfuck you got going on in there. Yeah, I'm like, no shit. Wish someone listened to me years ago. But anyway, that got fixed. Everything's going well. I don't know where I was going with that. That's just more backstory. So yeah, it's been 4 spinal surgeries, a shoulder surgery, a lot of getting off medications, getting moving, looking at the ugly parts of myself and dealing with it, while also showing myself love and compassion, which was, it's just as hard to show yourself with compassion as it is to swallow your pride. Sometimes harder. It's the old RuPaul thing. If you can't love yourself, how the hell are you going to love anybody else? I had to learn that first, otherwise I would have destroyed this thing with Ru at the beginning. Would have just let it go. But he took a chance on me and I took a chance on him. It's the best thing I've ever done. Life's funny. It takes a lot of work. Like Buddha, life is suffering. You can either suck about it, or you can dust yourself off go, I'll make the best of a clusterfuck. I'll enjoy the good bits. I'll understand the bad bits, make the good bits better. And just go with it. Do your best. Treat people with kindness.
Split 4. Split pace. 22 minutes. 24 seconds per kilometer.
Anyway, it's enough preachy shit. And it's a lot easier from someone who's done it than someone who hasn't got there yet, so do not think I'm judging. I was in a deep dark hole a very long time. If you're still in that deep dark hole, just, one day at a time, little goals. Just keep, if you can move, 3 step forward, 2 step back, and just keep at it, or 1 step forward and sit. And just every time you get some strength, then, over time you look back and see how far you've come. I know everyone wants to rush and make everything better right this second, but life rarely works that way. Be kind to yourself. Be patient with yourself. Set realistic goals. Just chip away at what you can each day. Doesn't have to be huge. Just chip a little bit. And then, I get emotional thinking about it. Just looking at where I was, 3-4 years ago compared to where I am now, I'm a completely different person. And that didn't happen overnight. That took time and patience and compassion for myself, which is something I never had the capacity for when I was younger. But yeah, it's life. Better angle this downwards. Oh, you're getting missing all the good bits. Too downwards? No, that's okay. Sweet. Yeah. Life is what you make of it. If I apply too much pressure to myself even now, I still splinter a bit. But I just know the signs of when to back off. So, but that takes trial and error. You need to find your left and right of arc. I like this bit. So peaceful. Birds of paradise. It's cute. The future's looking bright. It's just gonna take a bit of elbow grease. So peaceful. Checking the lens. Sometimes I got a bad habit of rubbing my sweaty forearm against the lens. I did that in Palm Springs. I went and climbed a mountain. Half the video is like, looks like RuPaul season 1 and 2. Should put that up because that was like a it's a bit of a cluster. Got up after morning after a bachelorette party Palm Springs. I was like, oh, go climb a mountain. By the time I got to the top, it was like 40 degrees, and so it's over 100, yeah, over 100 Fahrenheit. And my camelback leaked, and I'm in the desert, so I'm like rushing back down. Luckily I have enough water to get up there, but then I was so dry on the way back down. I decided to shortcut, like cut, because you could see where the accommodation and everything is, well, where the town is. So I decided to cut through, but then it was all private property. I'm like, oh, fuck's sake, you know, I do not want to get shot because I'm in America, trespassing on private property. But then I'm like, oh, I'm out of water, and my mouth's dry, I need to, so I ended up just like climbing over this mountain, down a re-entrant, because I assumed the waterway would flow down towards the town, which it did, but still there's like, you know, rattlesnakes, and it's off track, and I could have got, like, if I'd fallen or hurt myself, I would have been like, no one would have found me. I mean, Rue might have been able to, where's my boyfriend at, sort of thing, but I would have been in a world of hurt. So anyway, I did get all that on GoPro, but yeah, half of it's very glossy lensed from sweat, so I haven't put that up on YouTube. Might put it up, but yeah, it's almost found footage. I love these. This is a good track. I like this. Love stairs. Love that for you. Yes. Okay, anyway. Walking. Endorphins are kicked in. Nice. That's a good drug. Endorphins are good drugs. My drug of choice. Happiness. Manufactured by myself. La 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 la. Yeah. Anyway, I go crazy on endorphins. Oh, thanks, boys. Laughing at my singing voice. Ah, yeah. Whoa, good save. Ooh, cocky or two. Hey, bud. He's a healthy looking one. Normally, most of the cockies I've seen lately are really scraggly looking, but he's nice and healthy. Bright white, big bright yellow crest. Nice. Oh, there you go. The birds are definitely healthy around here. Lots of water birds down in the river too, or the lakes. Lots of pelicans, if you like pelicans. It's a really nice area to live, to be honest. So yeah, this is like Camden Haven, North Haven in New South Wales, where we are for the moment, just south of Port Macquarie. But yeah, it's a really beautiful area. I really like it. It'd be a wonderful spot to raise kids and stuff, I think, if you like outdoorsy stuff. Lots of four-wheel drive tracks around, some beautiful headlands. I'll actually go out there and do a walk next time, maybe. They've got this awesome circuit, which is just like got all these little offshoot tracks to all the different headlands. So it's just like picturesque ocean headlands after, like, one lookout after another all the way around this circuit. And you can whale watch and all sorts of stuff out there. We saw a few whales headed back south the other day. It was cool. But yeah, there's a headland that looks like the old big red Native American cliche, like the headdress and face sort of thing. One of the sides of the headland looks just like that. I think they call, you're saying the next one down that doesn't look as much like a Native American is called Indian head. So it's like, apparently Captain Cook named it that on the way through. But anyway, obviously don't use that name anymore. So I'm surprised they're changing all the other names. So like Redskins are now Red Rippers or whatever. But anyway. Politics. Political correctness. There's always a fine line between being respectful and rewriting history. Like, you can't just delete it. You gotta acknowledge what we've done wrong in the past without whitewashing or happy washing the textbooks. You gotta make sure. Sometimes you have to maintain the ugly heritage to make sure it doesn't happen again. Well, maintain awareness of the ugly heritage. Not obviously do it. But anyway, it's such a complex topic. To make a better world. But you can't make a better world by pretending like nothing happened in the first place. Yeah, it's so complicated. Complacency, I guess, is what we have to avoid. Anyway, my brain's gone on a tangent. Trying to make the world a better place. But no easy answers. Anyway, okay, Zeek. Segue to something else. So, RuPaul Drag Race UK starts on Friday. Yeah. So, no. Ooh, and that also the that Gen V boys spin-off series starts on Friday too. That should be good. That looks a bit wild. Okay. My brain really does go on tangents. What am I going to do? My to-do list for the rest of today is do a new workout routine. So I've got to go up and I've got to finish slashing on the tractor my property and clean up the outside.
Split pace, 19 minutes, 50 seconds per kilometer.
Thanks, Siri. And finish packing up the few things that survived into the shipping container. So once I sell the house, I can drop the shipping container on Dad's block until we settle somewhere. Settle long-term somewhere. It's just, Dad's got a few acres, so my place is 42, which is too much. Honestly, too much. Gorgeous block, beautiful creek down the back, lots of wildlife, koalas, wallabies, all that, but it's just too far away from everything. It was going to be a retreat, which is why I bought it. Well, there's a plan at the block, but it's too hard to get anything done there. Clarence Valley Council just, it's a bit pulling teeth. It took 5 years just to get the dwelling approved, and lots of money. But anyway, so drop my tractor and my shipping container at Dad's, get my Land Cruiser roadworthy, and when I sell the house I'll deck that out like a camper so we can escape on the weekends, pop top tent or something, drive up a mountain and camp, watch the sunset on the mountaintop and smooch my husband to be. So yeah, and then after I get back from doing that, I get in a proper workout routine until we move. I'll do like uni starts in 19th of February if I get in, so that'll give me 3-4 solid months of training. Well, yeah, three solid months of training. We're going back to Taiwan for Christmas and New Year's with Rue's parents and his brother's coming over from Vegas. But the rest of the time I can consistently work out and get down another, I want to get 10 kilos off. I need 10 more kilos off, and then I'll be happy. It's mostly sitting on my gut and my love handles at the moment. I got a lot of the rest off, and I've managed to keep it off since the Thailand trip. What else do I need to do? Went and redid all my budget so I can plan trying to afford living in Sydney if we get there, because that is crazy. What do I have to do at home? Do some domestics. Get Rue's car sorted. I'm pretty sure the transmission's about to die. Okay. Maybe I've run out of oxygen in my brain. Oh dear. Referrals, yeah. Confirm my review with the neuro. Book an appointment with the orthopedic to get my wrists and my left arm just reviewed and documented. Send the referral to Currumbin Clinic since Denise's retired from outpatients. So I've got to see someone else there if I want a psychiatrist. It's more just maintenance stuff. I'm not just touch base so I've got someone there if I need it. And BVCS should, or open arms, should call with this local psychologist so I can do some maintenance stuff while I'm still in this area and dealing with all the stress. Oh. Check. I think the next round of acceptance thing's the 29th, so Friday I might know about uni acceptance, possibly. Oh, my tummy's a little rumbly now. I've got a massive backlog of photos I've got to go through and edit for Instagram and videos to put up on YouTube, including this. I'll do this one today as soon as I get back. It's easy. Put together, render, upload. On battery wise, down's always slower. My back is getting a little tired now. Okay, 32%. That should hopefully get us to the bottom, maybe. It's not like it used to be where it's like twinge, twinge, pinch, pinch. It's more like just like sort of muscle fatigue. Like my upper butt is very yeah. I think because I had such a big hyperlordosis in my lumbar for so long, and when they fused it, it like really changed the position of my lower back and shifted like the way my butt sat. So my butt's still like trying to adapt to being in this sort of more sort of the upper butt shoved backwards, the lower butt shoved forward sort of motion since the lordosis has been taken out. So after a long time of being the other way, my butt's still trying to adjust to its new position. So after I go downhill for a while, I can really start to feel that. Whoa. That would have killed me back in the day. Ba-da-dum-bum-bum. Time is almost 2 hours of walking. Almost at the bottom. The sign said 3 hours, so I shaved an hour off. Oh, happy with that. I am a bit of a beast. No. Jokes. If I ran that, or if I built up to running that, I could probably do it in an hour and a half, I'd imagine. Especially, or even maybe less if I don't stop on the way down, like stop at the top, just go up, turn around, come back down. Oh, did you go across this bridge? Have I taken a different route? Oh well, we'll see where we pop out. Having a flat surface, pull that back a bit. We get 25%, that should be enough. Yeah, I think I remember that. I normally remember all the features. Slipping. Too busy gas bagging. Hey, mate. Back into Laurieton. Oh dear. So a couple of K walk back to the house. Hopefully we have an okay bushfire season this year. Very dry, very early. Okay. Well, I'll walk back to where I started and turn the video off there. Seems like the closest, one of the closest car accesses down the bottom by the water towers over there. So. Oh, hey puppers. Off, off. Off, off, off. Arf, arf. Always feels so much better after getting outside in nature for a bit, getting the lungs burning a bit. Here. Laurieton walking track. Okay. See you guys. I'll go see if my hubby to be is free for a coffee or something.